Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Rahul. I'm one of the co-founders of Jin E-Bikes, and in this video, uh, I'll try to go through the points that why you should not go for cheap electric bikes in general. By cheap electric bikes, we usually mean the bikes which are in the range of 500, 600, even 700 pounds. Um, and why we don't encourage our customers to go for it is for the following reasons. So the number one reason is the motor. Now in our Gen X e-bike, we always use Bafang brushless motor. When we talk about Chinese, the generic Chinese motors, which are non-branded and cheaper stuff, the problem happens after you have ridden certain miles, let's say 100 miles, 200 miles, or even 300 miles. The motor gets heated, and when it gets heated, it starts getting less and less efficient, and that is where you realize that 500 600 pounds bike was actually not worth it, for a simple reason, because the most important part of the bike, which happens to be let's say motor, is not so efficient. In our Gen X bike, we always use brushless Bafang motor, and one of the main reasons we always tell our customers, one of the main reasons why our production gets delayed is because of this Bafang brushless motor and this particular model, because this has a generic waitlist period of around 5 to 7 months, and we have to stock it beforehand and keep the inventory position rolling all the time. So yeah, so motor is number one reason why you should never go for a cheaper electric bike. The second reason is brakes. One of the most important reason that we also don't encourage customers to go for a cheaper bike is the brakes. Now on our Gen X, we never compromise on the quality of the brakes. We use hydraulic brakes. It's 180 millimeter front and back, and most of the cheaper bikes, they usually have mechanical brakes. Now uh, the bikes, usually electric bikes, this one is still very light, but usually the cheaper electric bikes are quite heavier in weight, above 24, 25, 26 kilograms. And now when you're riding that kind of a bike at a speed of, let's say, 14, 15, 16 miles an hour, and if you have mechanical brake, that won't go well. Given the weight of the rider plus weight of the bike, the mechanical brake might not be a very good choice. And that's why we always go for hydraulic brakes, especially on electric bikes. The third most important reason why a cheaper electric bike is not recommended is the battery. Now on our Gen X e-bike, we use Tesla grade cells, we call it. I think it's the range, is the model number something 210070. The lithium cells, they are usually set as Tesla grade. The best quality about these batteries, these cells, is that they degrade very slowly, so their efficiency is kind of stable even after 2 or 3 years of riding the bike. Now on cheaper electric bike, the batteries will not be definitely not Tesla grade and will not be a very good quality. And above all, the size of the battery on, for example, on our Gen X is 614 watt hour, and the peak battery wattage is 666 watt hour, operating at 48 volts. On the cheaper bikes, the batteries are very small, some in the range of 250 to 350 watt hour at the most. And when you have such a small range battery, what happens is you will not be getting more than, I'll say, 25, 30 at the most miles per hour at the most. And that too comes at a cost of degrading every 7 or 8 months. So even though it's cheaper bike, the problem is with a period of time, let's say 1 year, 2 year time, you will have to replace, for example, the motor, have to replace the battery. So you might have to add 300 to 500 pounds more on the motor and the battery, and that might increase the cheaper cost bike to somewhere around 900,000 pounds. So it's actually better to invest in a good quality electric bike. Now our electric bike Gen X is already under 1,000 pounds, and we are using all sorts of premium stuffs that the price range allows us to, and that's why we always suggest don't go for a cheaper price e-bike. It might sound very compelling initially, but on a longer run you might end up spending 2 or 3 times of the invested amount.